What is up, party people? Welcome to a podcast from far, far away.
Oh man, we got to use all the Star Wars puns even for this show.
Absolutely. I am your host today, the Jedi Master Braven Arrington.
Okay, so he gets to be master because he's host.
Yeah.
The Jedi are rigged.
Hey, you are on this council, but we do not grant.
Okay. Whoa. We're going to be talking about Star Wars Acolyte today, but before then, I'm going to introduce from left to right because they're all on my left. So we're going to go all the way down to the far end. My favorite Wookiee, Corello Juno, also known as Canaan Justice.
Wait, do your Wookiee impression again?
Love him. Next to him is his brother, the Jedi Knight Drow Jayek, Ethan Justice.
I forgot y'all did a Star Wars.
Yeah, we did a Star Wars
Yeah.
D&D campaign. I'm just calling those two by their names for that because I figured it'd be a good callback for what we're doing Star Wars thing with them. And he was not in the Star Wars campaign, unfortunately. He watched it.
I did.
And since he did play the role of a certain person during there, I'm just going to call him by Grandmaster Yoda here. Because you did play a little thing in the Dagobah.
I did do the role-playing stuff.
Yes, because I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and he did the.
I did. I forgot about that.
I couldn't talk much, so I had him and another Matthew Morrison.
Okay, I'll be Yoda.
Forgot
about
that.
I had them come and act it out for me because I had no way of communicating.
It was pretty fun. I remember that now.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
We're here to talk about a very controversial show across the entire Star Wars fandom I've ever seen in my entire life. Like
Last Jedi level.
Last Jedi level to the point of where prequels level as well.
That's episode 1 level.
Yeah, episode 1 level. Yeah,
Phantom Menace was like, this sucks.
But the Star Wars The Acolyte. Yeah. I don't know really where to start with this, to be honest, because it's so odd to unwrap.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with I know what I'm gonna go with what everyone's thought going into the show, and then we'll come back and go after the show. Were you more disappointed? Were you just like, that's it, or that's so?
Thoughts before the show.
Yeah. So your feelings before the show, because a lot of people going into the show immediately hated it. Immediately. They were hating on it before it even came out. They were saying it was the worst show. Yeah. They were saying it was the worst show before it even came out. And I was like, this is insane. Because there's no reason to hate on something if it's not even out yet.
Before it came out, I would say I was like, hey, all right, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Watched every single thing.
Same.
Except for, I don't think I finished Tales of the Empire.
Ooh,
but
that's good.
we're at a point where I'm just starting to get a little tired. If that makes sense. Yeah. And it's kind of all over the board with, like, the nerdy stuff I like. I'm getting a lot of stuff is starting to kind of not necessarily look the same, but just not really stand out to me. It's kind of unfortunate because of, I want creative things to be in media that I love and properties I love, and this trailer came out and I was like, wow, it looks just like more of the same over and over again. So I was just expecting more of the same. Like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm probably not gonna love it, but I'm probably not gonna hate it. And I thought lightsaber fights looked cool. There's some lightsabers.
All right.
So, I'm a Star Wars nerd, so lightsabers are cool. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Ethan?
Those are my thoughts before.
I didn't see a lot of stuff going into it. I didn't watch all the trailers and stuff for it. It's just kind of the glimpses I got and like what I heard from y'all. So it's just, I like Star Wars, so I was kind of cautiously optimistic, which I've been about a lot of things here recently. But it's just like I was hoping it would be good, but I went into it with like, I know their recent stuff hasn't been the best. So that's kind of the way I went into it.
Yeah. Canaan.
Going into it, I didn't have high hopes. it still didn't even live up to the hopes that I had for it. So,
Oh, boy.
I didn't care for it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I went into it I think kind of like an in between of Ethan and Dylan here. I was cautiously optimistic, but I was like, it's got to be something to wow me off my feet. I feel like if it's new to Star Wars, it's got to be something to be like, oh, that's sick. That's something new. That's something we haven't done before. Like that'd be cool. And we kind of like touched that a little, but then we didn't. Then I was like, that was me going into the show just like, oh, wait, we could go somewhere here. We could go somewhere. We never done High Republic, even though I got some opinions about High Republic in a little bit. We could be doing something like cool because live action High Republic's never been a thing. The closest we've got has been Jedi Survivor, and
it was like barely.
Yeah, it was barely. And so I was like I said, I was cautiously optimistic about it, but I was expecting the same stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going in. After.
Ian's already kind of said after, but.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with my after because I feel like this is kind of how I'm feeling. I liked starting off. I liked the cast. I did like the cast of like how everybody looked, and it really did feel. It felt Star Wars. It felt Star Wars. It looked Star Wars.
It was Star Wars.
That's
about it.
But the lightsaber fights, the choreography was. I say prequel level like choreography with lightsabers.
I mean, they did.
It was pretty good.
Not exactly, but the best Disney's ever done. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree with that.
With like, especially this is gonna be spoiler territory.
Oh, yeah. We meant to say this before. Spoilers. This is a full review. The show's been done for what, half a week now?
Barely that.
Barely half a week. So like, just letting you know, if you haven't finished the show and you care about spoilers, pop, spoilers.
Yeah, they're gonna be the spoilers.
I'll probably have a spoiler warning at the beginning, but
yeah. But the Stranger versus Soul, the final fight, that was one of the coolest like lightsaber fights I've ever seen in Disney ever do. Like, the Stranger's character himself, one of the coolest I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the story, they had the building materials, but no structure. Like, there's no structure to the story. It's very inconsistent. We're doing something. It feels like we do one thing and turn around and do another thing, and they don't mean, and neither one have any impact.
Yeah.
There was no need for the second to last episode to have a flashback episode.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
But like the characters had so much potential. I feel like with this, and it was squandered fun. Like it was just it, and then like it felt like a bad setup for a season 2, just so they can like do Darth Plagueis stuff, and they showed him. And it felt like a cry for season 2 at that point.
Please let us do season 2.
Like, this is what you could get if you get season 2. Like, like that at that point, I'm like, oh, lordy.
Yeah.
And then that like the last scene showing Yoda, I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but stop it. That's did it live up to what I thought going in? No, it did not live up. It was one of those like, yep, here we are again. So Dylan.
So, God, I watched the first couple episodes, and I'm like bored out of my mind. Yeah. I'm like to the point where I forget episodes are coming out every week, and like this is just not interesting.
I still couldn't tell you what day it comes out because I watched it late.
It was Tuesday nights, I think. Yeah, 9 p.m. Tuesday nights.
So. I was like,
and
wait, no, it wasn't Thursday.
And I always watched them on Wednesdays, because I was like, I'm not. The only show I watch weekly like that, like when it comes out, is The Boys technically, and then House of the Dragon. Yeah. But yeah, I was bored, and then the third episode, the first flashback.
Yeah. Episode. Yeah, it was like, well, you text me because you text me. I remember you said, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. Really bad, but not bad for the reason. I'm gonna preface this. I do not understand a lot of the hate the show got. I understand some of it, and I'm one of the people that don't like the show. But a lot of the hate that was given to the show made no sense. There was a lot of like lore things which I could just care less about that people were bringing up, and then there were, of course, racial problems, which just doesn't have a place in Star Wars, and they've said this multiple times before, but the fact that it's still as prevalent as it is kind of concerning. And my issues rely on the characters are all really not good, except for like maybe Soul. Like Soul's a good character.
The Stranger.
And the Stranger is interesting.
Yeah.
I still don't really know.
Yeah, they
anything.
don't really
anything.
tell anything.
I feel like I learned nothing this whole season. I think that's one of the main what?
No, keep going.
Like one of the main like issues I have with it is just like we start off season one. We start off episode 1, and we learn of the did we learn that they're twins yet? Or is that like the 3rd episode when we learn that? Which is the most obvious, not obvious, but like the most stupid twist of all time. Like it opens up and it's like, all right, the main actress, Leslie Hyland, main character, she kills a Jedi.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, we're killing Jedi. And then you see her wake up and like act like nothing's happened.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
that's weird.
It had really potential.
Yeah, and I was like, that's strange. And then it ended up becoming like a murder mystery, and you're like, okay, kind of into what's going on. And then they reveal it in like the 3rd episode that they're twins. I'm like, oh,
like I don't know.
It's like the most.
It's
that's like the most boring. Like
I think it's earlier than the 3rd episode.
It might have been the 2nd. I don't. It might have been the end of the 1st. I don't know.
I mean, they reveal it so early on. I'm like, well, that took the mystery out of it. Okay, but
and then there's like the mystery with the Stranger, but like, anyways, like we bring up prequel choreography, and I'm a profound. I don't like the choreography in the prequels that much, but this one does have the best that Disney's done.
Yes,
I think it's not nearly as like flippy dippy. I'm just gonna wave my lightsaber around and do nothing like the prequels are most of the time.
In episode 3 when they're just.
But I mean, Anakin and Obi-Wan literally do that one time. They just go to look at each other and they're like, yeah. I'm like, what are we doing? And I like the original trilogy choreography personally, except for like Obi-Wan and Vader. That's a different story. They just like hit each other like this. I think Vader and Luke's fight in episode 6 is the best lightsaber fight I've ever gotten. But anyways, that's my spiel on that. But I think the choreography is probably the best that they've done. There's some cool stuff. They have a little whip lightsaber thingy.
Oh yeah, that's
kind of sick. But we just start with nothing. We end with nothing. We get thrown Plagueis and Yoda at the end in the last 10 minutes. Like, hey, if you care about Star Wars, you should care about this. And while it is cool,
it's a cry.
It's just like at this point, too little, too late. You know, like it's just like I'm not interested. I will watch season 2 because of what I do. But like, if it even happens,
yeah, if it happens. I want to say real quick to the canon lore. I mean, everybody's so mad over like this whole. Like I mean I get it. I don't care for the witches either like in this thing, but like everybody's so mad about canon lore and all this stuff for like the creating of like the twins and
I hear one thing about Ki-Adi-Mundi's birthday.
Oh yeah, also that
lose my mind.
If we're gonna like
a minor character,
if we're gonna nitpick that, why are we not nitpicking the fact that like Ventress is like alive and Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Like there's like she's supposed to be dead. Like who cares?
Yeah.
Just enjoy something.
Exactly.
Enjoy something because we have it. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Like to the canon stuff. But is that all for you?
Yeah. I
Not good.
I don't really want to revisit this show anytime soon. Performances were okay, I guess, except for some of the kid actors weren't great. But I can't really criticize that. But yeah, I have more stuff to say about it, but I'm talking a little long, so y'all go ahead.
I'm gonna let Canaan go first, just to skip around a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't like it. Yes, the choreography was good, but that's practically the only thing I liked about it.
Yeah,
the writing was horrible. I didn't even know motivations behind most of the people.
Yep.
That were. I'm like, okay, so you're doing this, but why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? They never gave us that. And then it's just some of the characters didn't seem poorly written, and also I didn't like the acting and half of it as much as.
One thing I did bring up is the dialogue in this show.
Oh yeah,
god awful.
It was bad.
And like, people are like, well, people like the prequels and the prequels is bad dialogue. Yeah, I don't like the prequels. I like one of the 3, and all 3 of them have bad dialogue. And this one seems to be like, hey, people really like the prequels, so let's just like do everything that they did. And then one of the dialogue sins I have is that when something happens on screen and it happens like a few times in the show. Something happens on screen, and a character goes, "Oh yeah, that's what that means." Like I'm gonna explain it to the audience, or I'm gonna explain it to this person, like what just happened, like what, like they don't live in that universe and already know what that is, so they just explain it out loud. They don't leave anything for the audience to interpret or to feel by looking at this thing and be like, "Oh, maybe that's what that means." They just say it, and you're just like,
Yep.
Well, like, or like sometimes it's like, "Oh, well, dang, that's kind of ruined," or like, "Duh, yeah, I know what's going on." They treat the audience like they're dumb. And they treat Star Wars fans like they're dumb. And I'm sure some Star Wars fans are. I'm not gonna say that all Star Wars fans are smart. But like still, like treating the audience like they're stupid is not gonna leave good marks and good reviews on your stuff. It's just not.
That is the #1 rule in writing. Don't treat your audience like they're dumb.
Yeah, because they're not.
Because they just won't like
Drake,
it.
they're not slow.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Canaan. Get Drake more. But anyways, Canaan, you got more to say? Because I still have more to say, but
we'd be here for another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there. That's what I gotta say about it.
Yeah.
It happened.
I'm gonna add my 2 cents in about this because we talked about this. Me and Canaan did. Like we talked about, it's very cool that they did the lightsaber like changing at the very end.
Oh, I did like that, the bleeding crystal thing.
Yeah, the bleeding crystal, because it's the first time we see it in live action, and the first time we see Darth Plagueis in live action. Like the bleeding crystal, really freaking cool. Really freaking cool.
That was awesome.
However, I don't feel like it was earned.
Exactly.
Nope. I'm about to say, me and him talked about that the other night.
Nope. What in the show was earned though?
Nothing. Ethan.
First off, there was one.
I talk louder, so I'm going to use this one. Use that one.
Sorry about that. But first off, there was one episode in the show that made me laugh out loud. It was actually pretty funny. That was when they were the power of one. The power.
Yeah.
I actually sat in my car and laughed at that.
That
was bad. But past that, like, we've mentioned some of the cool moments, like the bleeding lightsaber crystal.
Yeah.
And then I honestly really like the force choke. Like,
That's not the
when
first
she
Force
starts,
choke,
she
right?
kind of.
No, that's not the first. I mean, it's probably the first one. Like, Sith have been gone for a very long time, so probably the first one in a while.
Just like how
Hello, Fly.
how he's there, and then they don't really show her, but he starts to not be able to breathe.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shoot, is she actually doing it?
Yeah.
But I told my dad this morning, actually. I was like, it's got cool moments, but overall it's just they like redeem it somewhat, in my opinion. But it's like it's not good, or you said this, it's not good or bad. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Like-
forgettable. Like I'm not gonna
Like, and
remember the
that's
show.
honestly worse to me. If it was bad,
Yeah,
we
at least I
could've-
remember it. I
yeah.
remember it being bad.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
that's
Like
my
the-
thoughts on
Yeah,
it. It
the
was
touch
just
stuff.
like Canaan said, it was just there. Like it came out. Y'all did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, you made the Star Wars project you really wanted to.
I mean, good for y'all. I mean, if this is the project y'all really want to do, good for y'all. But
I'm
I mean-
allowed to not like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
There is some static. I don't know where that came from. Don't do that.
Wait, hold on. Everyone stop talking. Okay, we're good. I was making sure it was fine. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like now I hear Star Wars, and I'm like, I'm starting not to care anymore.
Yeah. I hate to be that way because we got Star Wars Outlaws coming out like next month.
No, it's okay.
I'm actually
Yeah.
Video game Star Wars is a little different.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that because you got the Jedi series,
good.
and the Jedi series by far, like if they can finish off the trilogy, one of the best like gaming trilogies I played in a while. So like from start to finish. So
I'd say so.
Wait, trilogy? I thought there were only 2 games.
I'm saying like if they land the third game, if the third game is really good,
I hope so. That would suck if it's not.
yeah.
The first 2 have been good. I'm hoping it's good. But
I mean,
anyway,
I feel like it's better and better. But with Acolyte, I'm just gonna say to those who hate it, that's okay. If you love it, that's okay. But I mean, in our opinion here, it's not that great. It's
Not
just
for us.
okay. It's just okay. Like at most, it's mediocre. It's just mediocre Star Wars that they put out.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know.
It's definitely not the worst Star Wars show they put out.
What's the worst?
Resistance.
No.
I don't even count that.
I never watched it, and I don't.
The worst
wanna
live
watch
action
it,
show
so.
is probably this though.
Oh, live action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Because at least Boba Fett had like
Mando.
the Mandalorian episodes, which that's not great, but like still, I mean, they had a couple of good stuff in there.
I mean, yeah,
it
they had
was
like
it was also more boring than bad. And then like Mandalorian's pretty good until
So for season 3.
and then Ahsoka was good.
Yep.
I think at least.
I think it was good. I like it.
And Obi-Wan was fine.
Oh, Obi-Wan was fun.
There's just some plot lines of it.
It's another one of those things where I'm like, man, we could have made this a movie.
Yeah.
And that'd be it. We don't need.
I mean, that was the original plan. I feel like,
and 3-part, little 3-episode, hour and a half each episode kind of thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't need to be dragged out as long as it was. But yeah, with the Acolyte, we all are kind of like a meh here. I feel like it's a good, like, I'm just gonna say a 5 out of 10 for me. I have no, like, I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's just there.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like I can bring up some positives real quick and make it sound like I'm not like
I'm not hating on it.
crapping
No.
on this show. I do think there are some the fights are cool.
Yeah.
The fights are sick. I like the episode where we see the Sith for the first time
Yes.
and he kills all the Jedi. I really like that.
Okay.
Kills them like brutally. I was like,
You brought up
sick.
a point that I want to talk about.
What?
Like, I mean, he's raising his hand like a good little student.
There are, and then like 2 other things that I kind of enjoyed about it was one, like you're kind of, they never really say, oh, the Jedi are good and the Sith are bad. They kind of, it's gray area for both of them because Soul
That's something I noticed.
goes off on his like little tangent where he justifies everything, and then you learn about the stranger, and you're like, oh, he's not as bad as you think he is.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
then,
I mean, didn't they cover up the whole Soul death thing?
Yeah, like they blamed everything on Soul, like that he killed the other
Yeah.
Jedi and stuff like that.
and then
Interesting. That's interesting.
That is interesting. That's a good plot point for season 2. But hey, we're never going to probably see that. So
They do. They're going to focus on Plagueis and Yoda for.
yeah, fan service.
On
Yeah.
on the same thing that Ethan was saying, there was one line that really stood out to me. It was whenever the I don't even know her name, the bald green-headed woman was talking to that senator. I can't remember the line exactly, but it was talking about it was talking about how the Jedi are like a religious order that has complete power or whatever, and he didn't like that. I was like, okay,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
If we went this direction, I would have enjoyed the show.
Yeah, because like I said, they sprinkle some stuff in there that's like, oh, that's an interesting thread,
Yeah.
and then we lose the thread.
It's
exactly.
it's like I said, it's a very bad like setup for season 2. Like
If like season 2 is the actual show they wanted to make.
yes.
Yeah.
But they were like, we have to make a season 1. Just kind of throw that stuff in there.
I can't remember what the exact name of it called.
Maybe what? Oh, the mask the guy has on.
Oh, he has a few things. I'm trying to like find the exact name of it. What the heck is that noise in my ear? Whoever's messing with the bottom of their mic, stop it. There you go.
Everyone looks at their mics like, oh, are we touching it?
Okay, so it's not really saying what it's made of. It's called Cortona or something like that. I cannot. What?
Cortosis?
I think so.
Something like that?
Yeah.
I've never seen on Twitter.
So it's like I think Mandalorian metal mixed with something else. That's the coolest thing I think that this show introduced.
He headbutted a lightsaber. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, he headbutted a lightsaber, and then like he has like one on his arm that like hits a lightsaber as well.
People got really mad at that.
Yeah, and I don't understand why. Like
It's cool. It's a cool rule. I don't care.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really sick. He headbutted a lightsaber.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like-
sick. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Like that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like
I agree.
the like and like I like how his like mask got
Like
like a
smile.
smile. I like
Yeah.
that as well. But like, people got mad about that, and I like how they introduced that because that was a prominent point in my D&D campaign that I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast. And it's like the metal shorts out the lightsabers in like it's like a 30-second to a minute like before it comes back on.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing during the Old Republic, and to see in High Republic, and we don't even see it again ever in like Clone Wars or anything like that. Kind of insane because it's the first live action appearance for that as well.
Yeah.
they did a lot of first live actions, and that's the only one that felt like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that's deserved.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I'm trying to, find some good things about it.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did that I caught on to, I don't know if some other people, I know y'all did, but I think it's called Tricata, is the lightsaber technique where you're not supposed to do it. And
Yes. And Soul did it.
Soul did it.
Yeah.
And I liked that because it kind of showed how far he had come. But like, where you unignite, get past their lightsaber and reignite. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're not. That's illegal and
dishonorable or something.
Yeah, like if the Jedi like this religious samurai code, that's technically like no.
Which makes it.
That's like execution level style. No.
Yeah, it's like you could tell they knew their stuff. It's just you gotta. They didn't execute it well.
And another thing.
Oh boy.
We talk about cool stuff with like lore and like some of the cool things introduced is nice. My goodness, is the directing of this show so stale and uninteresting? It's just like visually not interesting. And like Star Wars, that's hard to do.
That is really hard to do with Star Wars.
Like
every planet we visit has been a green grass planet.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Why are the only 2 planets we go to have green grass or sand in Star Wars?
Show Coruscant more often.
Like
please.
they showed that one planet with the ice planet. I was like, oh, this is cool. We don't do ice that much that often, other than Hoth.
Yeah, it's just like, why are those the only 2 things we got going on?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was like, everything is so just not cool to look at ever in the whole show. And there's some stuff with like some of the choreography, like we said before, and there's some shots. Like I like the one where the guy like floats down at the end of episode like 5 or whatever this is, like floats down from behind her, and you see like the silhouette of him come down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. Maybe we should do more cool stuff like that.
Yep.
Instead of just shooting every conversation the same way. Like it's just if someone's talking,
there
we
are
have to
so
have a
many
camera
cuts
on them. We barely have 2 people in a frame talking to each other, like ever. I feel like, and I might be wrong on that, and you can criticize me if you want, but like, I just don't remember anything visually interesting about this. Maybe the most visually interesting thing was the bleeding crystal.
Yeah,
that was it. Like that was like the moment where I was like, oh wow, that actually looks cool.
I'm about to say that and the helmet are like the two like prominent things.
I did like the Plagueis shot.
Oh yeah,
grabs the thing. I did like that, but like that's just because also it was Plagueis, so I was like, whoa, that's cool.
I mean, yeah, first live action appearance. It's gonna be cool to me.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry, I had to say that about directing. It's just someone especially like when you watch House of the Dragon the same week,
Yeah. When you watch The Boys,
and arguably, probably Star Wars probably has more budget than House of the
Oh
Dragon
no,
does.
I completely
They
agree.
got that Disney money, so
Yeah, they could have poured that Disney money.
I'm not saying House of the Dragon doesn't have a lot of money.
I was gonna say,
they do.
Oh no, no, they do.
Also, it's just hard to watch this when you're watching literally The Boys and House of the Dragon at the same time. Like it's.
I enjoyed my Adventures with Superman more than this.
It's just like, come on.
But anyways,
but
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done. Canaan, you done?
I got my thoughts out.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our thoughts on the Acolyte. This is a short video, one of the shortest we've ever done with
And
reviews.
probably- I feel like this is the most like
Negative
one.
on,
yeah, this is the most negative.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do we think it's going to go from here? Say they do have season 2.
Okay.
What are we leading to? Because we keep on saying like, hey, this is a precursor.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
I feel like
Braven?
I feel like at the same time I feel like they still don't know.
Yeah.
Man,
Like,
that's how you write TV. To be honest, you write a season 1. You write a TV show only for 1 season, and after that, you don't really think about it anymore.
No, so I feel like with Plagueis, they could definitely go somewhere with that because like I think what they were trying to say there's two things going around the internet right now. One is that Plagueis used the twins as an experiment for Anakin, like to create a being through the Force.
I've heard that.
And then there's the second one, seeing it that Plagueis saw this happen and then started his own experiments. So it's still
Plagueis like a nerd.
What?
Is Plagueis like a nerd?
Yeah,
Probably.
like he's got that whole thing of like using life to create life, like the whole spill in 3. Like he's using the Force to create life, except for himself. So this was kind of
his own what's it called, emergence or whatever. Is that what they call him?
I guess, but I don't believe that's what ascension or something like that.
Like the life on the planet.
Not
converted. I think it was emergence.
It was emergence.
Emergence, yeah. Where
yeah.
it's like the most like plentiful life was being like sprouted up out of nowhere, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Is that what they're trying to say Anakin is?
Are you talking?
Yeah,
Don't talk about emergence.
Invergence.
Yeah, Virgins. Yeah,
I don't care, man.
something like that. Yeah.
But I feel like we can go with like Plagueis. Like if we're going his route, he could probably take the Stranger and OSHA now.
OSHA.
So she's bad.
I think of like the organization OSHA.
Every time they said it, I was like,
But OSHA and the Stranger could like take them and like train them and stuff like that. And you know the Sith ruled there can only two. Have them fight. That'd be
Power of one.
Oh, shut up. Because I there's so many things they can do with Darth Plagueis that could be cool, but I feel like it's not gonna work. There's nothing they could do with Yoda. I mean, technically, by all accounts,
Yoda do it. I know canon-wise it makes sense why he's there, but it's just...
no, he's supposed to be that old. But by all accounts, right now, like the
Is
Sith
Yaddle
are
gonna
not
be
the Sith are not. Wait, what?
Is Yaddle gonna be there? Yaddle?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Honestly,
Woman Yoda.
by all accounts, the Sith are not technically supposed to be like a prominent thing, like because you know, like you get that line of Phantom Menace, they have not been seen in like.
What does she say to Yoda at the end? Like, what was the sentence she said?
We need to talk.
Is she gonna talk about Soul, or is she gonna talk about the Sith? Because she talks about the Sith, doesn't that kind of like not make sense?
Well, I mean, I guess it's like the soul and like her Padawan that is like dark now because like I guess they're considering him a rogue Jedi and not
The Sith.
yeah. Which I mean,
I guess that makes sense.
I guess that makes
Especially
sense.
they don't know the Sith are there.
That makes sense of like you know making their way around the subject of Sith.
Yeah, because that's like the big thing. It's like, all right,
There's
Phantom Menace. It says multiple times.
the Sith have not been seen in hundreds and
we don't
hundreds of
even-
years.
Yeah, and we don't even believe that haven't been seen in so long that we don't even think that they're even here. Like Qui-Gon, you're crazy.
Yeah,
Like you're crazy. Dude.
Like-
you're not making any. I know you said you fought him, but no.
yeah.
You're
We don't
crazy,
believe you.
bro.
We don't believe you. Like
And I know he sounds cool. He has spikes, you know. You say he has spikes and like two lightsabers.
two.
No, I think
Two?
the first fight
and
didn't
little
have
did you
those,
know
but-
he's gonna be in like every.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be alive.
They
for way
bring Ball
longer than
back
you think.
forever.
Anyway.
But I mean, I guess that's their way of like seeing him as a rogue Jedi. Could way of working around that. But I just feel like it's like it's sloppy-ish right now.
And May is where? In
Lost-
jail.
I guess helping Green Lady with getting
Yeah.
her.
Getting
she
Ocean back.
lost her memory.
Yeah, she lost her memory.
Oh yeah.
That was
And
kind
then
of
she lost her memory, and then they were like, "Hey, this is what happened." She lost her memory, and then the people were like, "Oh yeah, so this is everything that happened." I was like,
You're filled in.
I was like, whatever.
What was it? Another thing they could do, I feel like a third plot point that would be good, like a subplot, would be the distrust between the Senate and the Jedi. They can lean more into that.
That could be
That could be fun.
I'm about to say that
They did that with the first the prequel trilogy anyway. So
oh
I
yeah,
guess-
but like you know, sew it in more.
Star
Like,
Wars politics could
We
be.
didn't really see it, and when they did in the original trilogy, it was freaking boring. It was like the least interesting part. And they did it some in Clone Wars, a little bit. Like you know the show they kind of sprinkled.
Oh, yeah, they
with
did a
Padme,
little bit.
and she kind of saw some pulls, and then Anakin, you know, Ahsoka leaving, and like him, like I like seeing reasons for because you know prequels kind of leave a lot of stuff up to interpretation.
Yep.
Because they kind of are three different stages of lives
yeah.
instead of kind of bleeding into each other a little bit more.
Mhm.
So like I like that the Clone Wars kind of took advantage of that and being like, hey,
Yeah,
this is the reason that some of this happened, so the Acolyte can do that too.
lean into
Yeah.
Star Wars politics.
Yeah, like it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you lean into like the politics side and like make it interesting, like you know Andor,
Andor, for
like
example,
like
Oh,
like I'll be like, yo, politics, let's freaking go, bro.
yes.
Yeah,
like
space
Star
politics, fun.
like Star Wars politics. Like let me know what the Senate's doing, what's going on with the Chancellor, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. And I'm about to say that's a third like little subplot I think they could do, is just like sow more distrust between the Senate and the Jedi, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, there's not really much more they can do other than that.
What do y'all think? Anything crazy?
No,
Plagueis
I
and Yoda
just-
gonna fight or something?
No.
I don't feel
No.
like it's doing much fighting anyway. But
Yeah, I think he's just an old like geezer. Like,
I mean, this is the whole thing about like him getting life back into himself. I feel like, or whatever the crap he was trying to do.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I
I
just
don't
wanted to bring
know.
that up. See if we could build some hype behind it, maybe. You know. So yeah, you can take it away now. I just wanted to
Okay,
get
yeah.
some more stuff in there. Y'all have any more thoughts? No.
We just need a Darth Revan show at this point.
Can I read?
I just want something good. I don't care what
Yeah,
it's about.
give me something good.
Yeah, so anything good with Star Wars, I would take.
About freaking the little singing guy
Okay.
next to Jabba the Hutt or something, and I just couldn't care. It could be that.
What was it?
What?
So the one's asking for a live-action Clone Wars show. Go watch the animated one, and
Star Wars series.
and asking for a Darth Vader show. You got an entire movie series about him.
It's true.
Yeah, and
Darth Vader show.
Obi-Wan as well.
And Obi-Wan as well.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but that's all we got here. So thank you guys for tuning in and going over the show with us. If you haven't watched it, that's up to you if you want to watch it or not. Really.
If you haven't watched the Water Soul podcast, I don't think you want to watch it. This
yeah,
point, so
probably.
just talk about
There's probably no reason for you to watch it because like you're probably all like, If you like it, good for you. If you hate it, good for you. We just don't.
As long as you hate it for the right reasons.
Yeah, don't hate it for.
Don't be the worst.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought.
Yeah, I actually am curious. Like, what do you if you think some moments were cool that we didn't mention,
and we can.
Or if you think we're stupid.
Yeah, if you got something to combat like what we're saying
are.
here, I would actually like to genuinely hear about it because I don't know much to this show.
Art is subjective.
I know a lot of
Even when
Star
you're
Wars canon lore and stuff like that. Like stuff I know lore, but like I don't know things about the show that could have been good or stuff like that. That like behind the scenes stuff. I don't know.
We like to
nothing
hear
about
differing opinions,
Even if they're wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm
that.
kidding.
No, we're kidding. But yeah, that's all from us here at Hog Rider Radio. Please follow our Instagram. Socials will be put in the bottom. You got something?
So this video will be up. The boys will be up at the same time.
Yes.
Next week we have also 2 podcasts. We have Deadpool and Wolverine review.
Yes.
Woo. Yeah. Deadpool Wolverine review. Very excited for that one.
Excited.
A lot of us probably going to be on
about
that
to say
podcast.
there will be many of us on the podcast. I don't know if I'll be able to convince my wife to do it, hopefully, but it'll be us 4,
And
Chad, James, hopefully, and yeah, this is going to be a fun podcast that's going to be coming up, and I believe the next one that he's about to talk about, take it away. I know what it is.
GalaxyCon.
Oh, never mind. I'll talk about the third one though.
Oh gosh, we are going to GalaxyCon next weekend in Raleigh. So when you see this, it'll be before then. So if you're going and you see us, say hi. That's a very minuscule chance it's going to happen. But be sick. We're going on Saturday. Then we are going to record our thoughts. I know some of us are meeting people. Who you meeting? Shout it out.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. I mean John Bernthal.
Meeting
You don't even know.
Dante
Basco.
That's who I was about to say. I want to meet him.
I
want to meet Zuko.
I'm actually meeting all of these guys that we just mentioned.
Well, yeah,
Crazy.
true.
That's crazy. I'm spending $140. I'm like, I'm done. That's it. I was gonna meet Sam Raimi, but I don't think that's in the card for me money wise. So,
I understand that.
so yeah. But yeah. So we're gonna be doing a recap podcast of that. Make sure to tune into that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about what happened, how we thought of the event.
Yeah.
And who we met and how we thought about them and
probably
overall thoughts.
We'll probably post some pictures if we get any pictures on our TikTok and.
Acolyte was
Instagram.
5 out of 10. What did y'all think it was?
Yeah, same here.
Say 4.5 out of 10.
4.5. 4 out of 10. Okay, cool.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take it away for you. We have another podcast coming out within the next week or 2. It will be hosted by our special agent Wick, Chad. It will be the Kingdom Hearts podcast. It'll be going on to Hog Rider Gaming. I think we're all kind of excited about this one. It's kind of been a build up for a while, and with the rumors,
they were waiting on me to finish.
Yeah, me and him have been done for months.
Yeah.
With the build up of Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out in like the next, I say, yearish, hopefully.
Year and a half, probably 2 years.
Hopefully, something like that.
Yeah.
We wanted to go do like just a recap podcast on it.
Just a retrospective,
Yeah, just like what was our favorite game, stuff like that. Just to talk about it. Just 4 friends talking about Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, those are the 3 podcasts that are coming out: GalaxyCon, Kingdom Hearts, and Deadpool and Wolverine. Please tune into that one especially because that one's gonna be
We're
so
hyped for that one. Hopefully it's not bad.
We are praying it's not bad.
It
We have so high hopes for this one just because of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun with that. I think that's pretty much it for that. So in the description will be everybody's socials. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Give us a like. Turn on the notification bell if you can, please. We'd very much appreciate it. I think that's pretty much all for us today. Love you guys. But you guys say it back.
And may the force be with you.
Oh, may the force be with you. All right. Bye, guys.